everyone. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I would like to make a vegetable soup. Hearty, delicious, nutritious, easy vegetable soups that yes, even your kids will like, especially when I do my part 2, and I'll show you a little trick that I do. Maybe some of you know, but you'll see. I make this soup every single week and some variation of it depending on what kind of vegetables I have. I make it for the week, and this way we all have what to eat, like, especially now with the winter, that it's cold outside. And let's face it, who doesn't like a bowl of hot vegetable soup, especially when they're looking for something? So you know the cliche, you are what you eat. And eating vegetables, especially when it's yucky and cold outside, really lifts people's spirit. So I'm going to show you quickly how to make the soup. And again, basically, it's whatever vegetables you have available. So I do start out with chopped up onions. I just started, I put a little bit of oil, literally a tablespoon of oil is about all you need. A little bit of onions. Even though we did discuss that onions are a little higher in glycemic index, it's the only thing I use for the soup just to give it a lot more flavor. Okay, the next thing I put in is celery, a whole bunch of chopped up celery. Okay, my biggest ingredient is zucchini. Now zucchini, as maybe some of you know, is a very low glycemic vegetable that gives you a lot of nutrition, but a lot of it is water. So it really makes a difference when you're watching your calories. So throw all that in. And I use different color zucchini also, whatever zucchini I have. Okay, next thing I put in is turnips. Now turnips, and maybe I'll do another live on turnips, is a great root vegetable that's relatively low glycemic compared to other ones. And on the program that we have, our Up to Via 5-in-1 Ultimate program where you can lose a lot of weight, this vegetable is allowed. So I put it right into the soup as well. Okay, now I also put in sometimes, depending if I have, some mushrooms, just to give it a little bit more color. I don't know if I'm going to put them all in because the pot is getting a little bit full right now. So maybe I'll just do some of that. And I also use cauliflower to give it a lot of thickness, especially when I do what I do, so the kids really don't know what you put in it. And that's the bottom line. I try to make it when my kids don't see what I put in it, so I can get a lot of nutrients and nutrition into the soup without them realizing it. So we put all that in, basically just keep dumping it all in. And then, and again, you really could put whatever vegetables you have available. Now you can see this is a really, really full pot. And then what we do is, usually we just let it simmer a little bit in its own juices. Sorry, just gonna grab this. And then, so while that's happening, I'm gonna cover it up with the water in a minute. But we said this is gonna be food for both body and soul. So I just wanted to introduce a concept that we introduced in my home, and that's basically the attitude of gratitude. So what does that mean? It means that when we wake up in the morning, do we realize that we have so much to be grateful for? Do we look at our day, whether the day that passed or days ahead of us, and say all the wonderful positive things that are in it and what we are blessed with? Or are we looking at everything we don't have or things that don't go right with our lives? So the attitude of gratitude, we found, and I'm talking to myself as much as I'm talking to anybody else, is a great mood booster. So when you wake up in the morning, when I wake up in the morning and I say, okay, thank you Hashem, thank you God, whatever you want to call the higher power, thank you for giving me my legs to walk with, my health, my family, my home, or whatever it is that you have grateful that works for you. My whole attitude, my whole outlook on life is a lot more positive. So just like we feed our body and we make the right choice by giving us what we need to sustain our body to become the healthiest person we can be. Same thing about our attitude of gratitude or our feeding our soul. Our soul thrives on positivity and on our mind and our soul both look for positive attributes in ourselves and in others. So I challenge you. We're going to do part 2, hopefully in a couple of hours when all this simmers down. I challenge you and I invite you to think about examples. What are things that are you grateful for in your life? So let's come back in a couple of hours and chat and see what else, what you can come up with about your gratitude, what you're grateful for. So also, before I forget, I forgot the very important ingredients, spices. Okay, so before I put the water in, I put in some salt, and then we'll wash it all down with water. Okay, and I guesstimate a salt. You know, I don't put so much. I love pepper; gives it a little bit of a zing. Also, just pour it in, maybe about 2 teaspoons. Okay, this is one of my favorite soup spices. It's called hearty. Okay, Perrick makes this one. I'm sure other companies do as well. And this I actually put about a tablespoon in. So I do run out of this one a lot. It has a lot of nutrients, gives it beautiful color. Sometimes if I don't have hearty, I will do a little bit of curry if I run out. Okay, so let's just put the water in. Okay. Let's hope I have enough room for all this in here. Okay. Let's see how much water. Okay, it basically just covered it all up. Yes, it's going to be a very, very tall pot of soup. But once this simmers down, we'll be able to add a little bit more water. Okay, leave it on medium. Okay, so we'll come back in a couple of hours, hopefully around, 4 something. And we are going to talk about attitude of gratitude. I'd love to hear what you're grateful for in your life, and I'll share some more of what I'm grateful for too. I will repost again when I'm ready and when the soup looks like it's really almost there, and I'll show you a secret of what I do to have my kids like the soup as well. See you later in a couple hours. Bye.